أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This week, for our thought of the week that we want to reflect upon and ultimately try to implement within our day-to-day life is a beautiful yet very short, just a few words, tradition which has been reported to have come to us from the commander of the faithful, Imam Ali, may God's peace and blessings be upon him, in which he reminds us that to have drawn expectations, hopes, longings, wishes, desires is something which there is no end to. And before we reflect on this, let us just look at the tradition that has been reported to coming from the commander of the faithful, where he says the following: there is no end to expectation. This tradition, although very short, it speaks volumes of how a believer should lead his or her life in this transient temporal world. You know, sometimes we have long drawn expectations, and at one level it's no problem to have goals and desires in life. Obviously, when we go to school, we do so with a desire, the expectation to graduate, to get a good job, to have a career, have a family, and so on and so forth. And really everything that we do in life, it is based upon dreams, goals, aspirations, hopes for a better future. But sometimes these expectations, we know that they have no end to them. You know, somebody attains a career, a degree, and attains and goes towards a specific career in life with the goal to, for example, buy a good house for their family and a car and have these basic comforts and luxuries of life. And we see that as they get older and older, and as they see people around them making more and more money, the individual now has greater expectations. They want to have a larger home. They have 2 cars, they want 3 cars. They have a standard car, your everyday car. Now they want to move up to a luxury sedan or a luxury sport utility vehicle or something like this. And so they work harder and harder to try to get more and more money to buy these new things. And when they get them, unfortunately, as the tradition tells us, that these expectations continue to grow and develop and push them further and further and further. So yes, they have gotten the bigger home, multiple cars, whatever else it is that they want. But these expectations don't end there. These desires, these low hopes and longings and wishes of this world don't end there. Unfortunately, they see other people around them having even bigger homes, having even more expensive cars, fancy clothing, jewelry, luxury, name brand purses, ties, watches, whatever. And the individual, because these desires are continuing within him or her, they want more and more and more. And so we see ultimately that these desires, these wishes never end. And rather, the only time that they will end is when the person is 6 feet under the ground. And all that they worked for, all that they competed with one another for the bigger homes, fancy cars, sporty clothing, beautiful accessories to their clothing and to their life, that all of these are left above the ground for their inheritors to benefit from, for their family, their children, their spouse to enjoy while they are 6 feet under the ground. And so yes, we agree that we need to have desires. We want to have that push that drives us forward to become better, to progress in the material aspects, but not at the cause and not at the price of losing our world to come. And so we have to ensure, as we close, that we balance the life of this world with the life of the world that is in front of us, and that we don't let these unattainable and extra long desires that keep coming upon us, that we don't let these take over our life, and that we don't let them take over our preoccupation, that we forget about our world to come and about the return back to our Creator. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.